It's just like,
explain to me how it's like dating.
well, because
I never understood dating.
Well, this is not my theory. This is what I've read. Experts say that
you have a friend, right?
I read, hey.
Sorry.
The idea is the less you want it,
Right.
the more attractive it becomes, the more you're gonna get it. So you gotta pretend like you don't want that. You gotta flirt, but you just come back a little bit more, and then you come a little forward and then a little back. And it's like this another tango.
So the one that cares the less,
okay.
basically
So and then
controls
it's
the
almost as if
relationship.
right, exactly.
You play hard to get.
Pretty much, and then the power becomes in the one who doesn't care. Therefore, the office itself will come seek you the less you want it.
Well, the scrutiny, you don't get the scrutiny until you officially announce,
True.
because you can see what Mitt Romney's dealing with right now. Everybody's attacking him, Newt Gingrich, all these folks that have indicated their interest. The longer you wait, then there's this attractiveness to this candidate that emerges at the last minute, and then you can't dig into what the background is. The Sarah Palin experience for everybody in the last election cycle was based on the fact that some of the conservative groups knew about her because she had made the talk show rounds, but not the American public. Well, I can tell you, most folks don't know much about Rick Perry outside of Texas, and he'll be an attractive candidate. He's going to say that I've ran a fiscally sound state, and he's going to say all the right things.
That's a great
so immediately
point.
He's going to
He looks good on
jump.
paper.
Absolutely, that's
He
a
does.
wonderful point. You're absolutely right, Lyle, because we've talked about this for sure. Because on the national scale, my friends in different markets, everyone from New York to Phoenix, they're like, that guy Perry, he's probably going to be the next guy. I'm like, do you really know about Perry? Do you know who he is and what he's done for the state? And I mean, do you know Texas politics?
You're saying on closer inspection, we're not going to look so good.
He knows what's going to happen, and he knows that once he officially puts just a toe in that water, all of a sudden those journalism sharks are going to come over and start,
On the other hand, Nico Lahood, how does he not run? He's been governor forever. There's no place else to go. There's no Southern governor in the race. There's no Sun Belt governor in the race. The Republican field looks a bit watered down. I mean, I don't know if a guy like him just gets in because how do you not get in, right?
I don't know. I don't know what his aspirations are. Maybe Lyle might know that, but
don't you think people have run for president? I think we've had people run for president and even become president who really didn't lust for it, but really had nowhere else to go.
Or the party just said, you're going to run for president. Sometimes there's that pressure.
Why does he necessarily have to go anywhere? I mean, he's been
I
there
agree.
forever, and
Well,
maybe he just says, look, status quo, I'm happy where I'm at. It's safe for me. Well, then he's going to...
Why do people climb mountains?
Right, he's going to subject himself to that national scrutiny and the viciousness on both sides of it.
Well,
within his own party, and then also within the Democratic Party, and then, of course, independents and everything else. I mean, it's...
The speculation in Austin that I hear is there's two jobs that he'd like to have, and both of them I think are probably the two most powerful jobs in the world. One of them is the President of the United States. The other one is President of Texas A&M University. And actually, there's some things.
Yes.
I mean, A&M to me would be a whole lot better job than.
Oh, so he might be just raising his stature a little bit for other things in the future.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people run for president, but what they really want is to be in the cabinet of the guy who will win or something like that.
Could be psychological.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation about Perry Palin, vice president or president, one or the two, both of them running. They do have a close relationship, and you can see that she's trying to stay outside of the mix right now, but she's still touring, and there's a lot of speculation of why we accelerated the special session. It wasn't because of the budgetary issues, because the longer we waited, the more money would have rolled into the coffers. We're seeing a turnaround in the state economy, both in sales tax collections and oil and gas revenues that are flowing into the budget. So it would have made more sense for us to do it in July, and it would have given us an opportunity to address this with more funding available. A lot of the speculation is that two folks, both the lieutenant governor and the governor, want to launch their exploratory committees, one for the Senate and one for the president, as soon as we can get out and get this behind them.
By the way, who really thinks that the Sarracuda would be willing to play second fiddle after what she just went
Sarah
through.
Good.
When I hear people say, oh, there's going to be a Perry Palin ticket, there's going to be a Romney Palin ticket, Sarah Palin's not going to be somebody's running mate, right? If she does anything, she's going to run for president, not vice president, right?
I think Perry would be okay with that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think so.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think he'd run as her VP?
No, I think you'd be all right with that.
Maybe. But I don't think she will settle for being number 2 on any ticket after what she went through the first time.
Yeah, I would
and whoever
think
runs, no one ever runs for vice president more than once. I don't
Yeah,
think
only
anybody-
Joe
It
Biden
doesn't look
would.
very good.
Joe Biden.
He would probably be the.
He says he's available in 2016, by the way. He's letting the Democrats know. I don't know if that's a threat or an invitation, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they're looking forward to that because he'll be so much clearer in 2016.
Oh, yeah.
What about Sarah Palin? She's sort of angered the mainstream media with this bus tour. They're furious with her because they can't really figure out what this is about. But isn't this this is just leading to a campaign, right? It's on
Or
its
more
way to
book
a
deals.
campaign.
Or another talk
Exactly.
show.
Well,
She's very,
right now she can
know,
collect money without having to be governed by FEC rules and candidate rules. So.
Right.
But that's what we're headed for, isn't it?
Maybe.
You're taking a bus
I don't
tour
know that I trust her.
in an election year?
Honestly, I don't know. I think she does. She has a lot of. I don't mean this in a bad way, but she has a lot of schemes going on.
Yeah.
She's always scheming for the next thing,
Yeah.
and I think ever
Aren't
since
they
she-
all, though? Aren't all
Well, this is true,
politicians
but
doing
she
that?
doesn't like in the spotlight. And with an
You'd like her to be more subtle.
well dressed. Well, I'd like her to be more organized and a little more focused. She's always like tiptoeing around stuff. If it's not her own show that just bombed, then it's another book deal, or it's another campaign. If it's not the Tea Party, then it's the moms. It's always something, but it's not very focused. It's always teetering on some aspect of conservatism, which is fine, and she has her basic ideology and platform. But come on, show me something. Go out and do something.
Yeah.
I
think she's going to.
I think she
I
should
think
run
you're
for
gonna get your
Senate
wish.
maybe and get a little more involved. Maybe.
People like that don't want to be in the Senate.
I know, but
One out of 100.
Look, what is that? What does that mean? People like that don't want to be in the Senate.
They
Isn't
have
this go back to
ideas. They
people?
want to do things. They don't want to vote for things.
Well, if she can do a lot for that state that's over there.
I don't think
as a
she.
senator.
I think she's done all she's going to do for that state.
Well, then should she really be in politics?
she moved to
Should she really
Arizona.
be elected then? if
If she
that's
moves to
the attitude?
Arizona, I don't know if you. I mean,
She
Well.
did, right? Or she?
Yeah, no.
They bought a house in Arizona.
Oh,
She
they did
moved there.
officially.
I think she ends up being like a Colin Powell, where she doesn't run, but she's always out there on the cusp of running, and she becomes that national conservative figure that everybody has to get the
A
blessing
kingmaker.
by.
It just sort of
She
dictates.
will be, and I think that's where she'll be situated, and she's going to accumulate immense wealth in the process.
That is
and
it.
I think
ding,
that,
ding, ding, ding.
and I think that's where she's going to end up. I don't think she's going to follow through because our best candidate on the Republican side is Mitt Romney. And you look at what he's done in the background, and granted, he'll have to deal with the
why are
scrutiny of his
Republicans
healthcare
so?
plan.
All right, you say that,
Yeah.
and he's sort of the front runner, but
Right.
Republicans seem completely in a panic about that. Every Republican is like, "Oh God, we hope this guy gets in. We hope that guy gets in." As you say, though, Lyle, there's a very strong, well-funded, organized in all 50 states candidate. Why the crisis of confidence in Mitt Romney?
Well, I think it breaks down to our party base, the evangelicals, and the fact that he's a Mormon. There seems to be a problem there. Until we overcome that,
You think that's it, really?
Absolutely.
Does not
I
Romney
agree.
care?
No, I think that will be a hindrance as well as the whole Massachusetts medical plan. That at least he reached out and tried to solve it. Whether you like
Somebody
it
made a
or
good
not.
point. They said the one thing people wish he would have flip-flopped on. He didn't flip-flop on it. He's consistently supported what he did. That might be the one thing he should have said. You know what? That wasn't a universal mandate. Was not the right approach.
But if somebody's going to go toe to toe with Obama, I will bank on Mitt Romney
Well,
because
I think he would be very strong there. I
He
agree.
would be. From a composure standpoint, his intellect, his basis to articulate his viewpoints, I think he's our best opportunity. All the rest of them, there's baggage or there's inconsistency in their presentation. I just think he's our best shot. And having a good, strong vice presidential candidate will help as well, maybe drag some of the southern states. And maybe that's where Rick Perry or someone of his ilk will situate themselves. because then you have that balance. But he has done so many positive things in the private sector and in the public sector, Mitt Romney, and I really believe that hopefully everybody will galvanize around his candidacy, because I know we're looking for that 11th hour candidate to ride up on the white horse, and it's going to be the salvation for our country. But I can, I've seen Palente and some of these other governors, some of them they're intimating that they're going to run. They don't have, I think, the ability to raise the money or the national stature that Mitt Romney has. I think he's our best shot, and I hope that everything
But I mean,
formulates around
he's not gonna. He's still gonna be Mormon. How do you?
Right.
If that's the problem, that's an immutable problem.
Well, JFK was a Catholic in the early 60s, and everybody said that was going to be his impediment. And, the country got over it. And I think there's more tolerance, more understanding of differing views. And I think that from a theological standpoint, people need to look into the Mormon religion and understand that this guy is a strong-minded, and he believes in a supreme being. He has, I think he has the material of being a great president, and I'm going to support him.
I couldn't tell that until you just said it. I'm getting that drift now. We're back with the lightning round of Gang of Four. We have Nico Lahood, Sylvia Rincon, and Lyle Larson. But first into the newsroom at 11:24.
World Airport in
I'm too tired. Go get him! News is happening now! Wow, KTSA!
Comes the Blair Witch Project again. Is that him? You see him over there? Shaking.
11:31 on News Talk 550 KTSA. I got to tell you what happens here. We take a commercial break on Gang of Four. The gang relaxes, unwinds, because the camera leaves the room during the commercial break. I don't know if he goes and charges it up or polishes off the lens or whatever. And then he comes back in, and the minute the camera comes back in, Lyle Larson, like military ramrod posture. Nico Lahood adjusts his braces. Sylvia Rincon reapplies a little blush. Fluffs the, look at her, she's fluffing the hair.
I have to.
Can you come over here and fluff my hair? I don't have anything to.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have enough to fluff. All right. This is so much to talk about. We're rapidly running out of time here. Obviously, a big story today. Sylvia, you were covering it this morning. We have reporters covering it today as well, as the funeral for this Bexar County Sheriff Sergeant Kenneth Vann. Over the course of the week, we have seen the reward money grow and grow and grow. People are even calling the radio station saying, I want to donate not only to the family, I want to donate to the reward fund. Is there a direct connection, or is there any connection between increasing the reward money and the likelihood that you find the shooter or shooters of Sergeant Vann?
I think so, because what they're doing is they're picking up people with warrants, because someone is going to know something, whether it's unfortunately some drug addict on that side of town or wherever, that they might know someone, that someone spoke and someone talked too much. That's how a lot of investigations are resolved, through confidential informants and people actually reporting it.
They're huge. The witnesses, people coming forward.
And then you're going to get someone who says, like, man, $127,000 is a lot of money. I mean, I'll be anonymous, and let me give you a tip, and if it leads to it, then I have that money.
How anonymous are you if you suddenly walk around on the east side with $127,000?
Don't show it.
You guys are making a lot of assumptions, but I'll tell you that the money does make a difference in most investigations, and it will at least spark up people coming forward. And in these types of investigations, having just one person come forward with any information is so vital. It's so vital because it'll create a thread that'll go somewhere. But unfortunately, this is a tough one. This is a very difficult case.
You're covering this story, Sylvia, so let me ask you. It's different, it seems to me, from
different.
other stories where police officers are killed in the line of duty,
Right.
i.e., a shootout or exchanging fire with someone they're chasing, domestic violence, which is one of the most dangerous calls that police officers answer. I think people are really struck by the fact that he was just sitting there in his cruiser in a traffic light.
Indeed. It was particularly heinous. It was a heinous ambush. These people drove up next to him. He was in a patrol unit, in uniform, sitting there. And they gunned him down multiple rounds.
17 days. They
Does
said
it make
20.
people feel less safe? Because ordinarily, again, when cops are killed,
was a target.
they're doing things we wouldn't be doing anyway. But they look at this and they say, how safe am I in my car at that light
Yeah.
if a guy in uniform in a marked car isn't safe?
You know,